welcome back everyone. So, didn't make the race in October, so it's like October 15th or something today. But my buddy did come down. That was going to be my co-pilot. He still came down, and we got a lot of work done on the car. And the plan today was actually to, so last night I came out and I got the last fitting I needed for my hydraulic clutch setup. So the plan was to, I filled it up with some fluid last night. The plan was to come out tonight, bleed it, throw my drive shaft in it, and make you a cool video of it moving under its own power. But when I came out this morning, I had a big puddle under the car, and unfortunately it looks like the bleeder spot, you know, I got the remote bleeder with the Fabbot kit, and the slave cylinder there's leaking. So I must have nicked the O-ring or something when I swapped it out. So I've got to pull transmission. So I got the car back up on jack stands, and I'll show you a little video of the leak, and we'll get this transmission snatched back out of here. Hopefully get this leak fixed and get the transmission back in, and then we'll regroup tomorrow and try this all again. So thanks for watching, and we're really close, pretty excited. Hate that I missed the race, but life happens, so we'll keep at it and get this thing going. So there's the big puddle. So ignore that puddle. That's from when I left the brake line loose. But that's the new puddle. And that's the slave cylinder leaking in the transmission. So the only thing I can think that I messed up is I must have nicked an O-ring. But I'll give you a lowdown. So got the turbo on, got me a little shorty piece of pipe. I've got some exhaust ordered, so we'll be finishing it up soon. But got the wastegate on. Still got to rebuild the cold side, but yeah, I got everything wired up, which you know, you saw my wiring video where I finished that stuff up. And then you know, today was supposed to be a good day, but anyway, roadblocks, but we're gonna make it through it, and we'll keep at it. One good thing is, since I was in a rush, I made the trans tunnel like a temporary removable thing. So that's actually working out good in this case, because I was able to take it out, and you can see I got pretty easy access to the transmission there. So yeah, we'll get this thing snatched out of here and hopefully be able to fix this leak. Alright, so the plan today was to bleed the clutch and throw the drive shaft in this thing and get it running. But as you can see, I messed something up. I must have nicked an O-ring on the slave cylinder because I have a big drip. So, looks like I gotta pull the transmission back out. Alright, so day just keeps getting better and better. So, got the transmission out. It's kind of a pain. I did not have this in all the way, so that's my fault. But also just dumped all my tranny fluid out. So that sucks. It's all brand new fluid, gone. So I'm gonna get this thing fixed, try to get it back up in here, and probably just call it a day because I'm getting frustrated. But yeah, I gotta go find some transmission fluid now. I had the Fabbot came with the nice stuff, which I doubt if I can get local, but I gotta go find some oil dryer because this stuff's gonna get everywhere. Alright, so got this guy in. I pulled on it a bunch, it won't come out. It came, so I don't know how I screwed that up, but I just must have had it in wrong. So we're gonna try to get this thing stabbed back up in here. My feelings are still hurt. I dumped out about $40 worth of transmission fluid. That just sucks. But anyway, the plan, if this thing goes back in like it's supposed to, I'll get it back in today. We'll go ahead and get the clutch bled since I don't have a leak now. And then just keep it up on the jack stands till tomorrow because I've got some hoses I need to redo. This old stainless steel hose, this is the return. I don't know if you can really see that, but that's the return. And when we tested the fuel system, that thing looked like a super soaker hose. It had leaks everywhere. So I'm not sure, it must have dry rotted while it was in storage, but I got this new one ran. So I gotta undo that one from the floor and get it in, and then also I gotta finish off running my meth line, get it all tie wrapped up. So we're gonna get this thing stuck back in and hope for the best. We've got transmission back in. Took a good part of the day, unfortunately. It's not as, you know, anytime you're working on your back, stuff's harder. But I got all the bolts started, got a couple of them tight, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the clutch stuff to the master cylinder and give that a shot and make sure my leak's gone before I tighten everything up and put everything else back together. So it's the next morning, and so I filled up my clutch master cylinder last night, let it sit so you can see it's no leaks. So we're gonna try to get this thing bled today, and then get the drive shaft in it, and hopefully by the end of the day it'll move back and forth into the garage instead of me and the wife having to push it back and forth into the garage. So yeah, so looks like we got the leak fixed, so we should be good to go now. Also working on getting the wastegate stuff plumbed up, which I'm trying to figure out best routing here, because there's going to be a bunch of exhaust right here, and I don't know if my rubber hose will survive right here, so I'm thinking about coming this way up here. That way it misses the exhaust, but it definitely doesn't look as good. So you know, I would come out and just tie wrap it to the oil feed line probably, and then come to the hoses, which I think that'd probably be safest for the hoses, but at the same time I'd rather just come over here like so and go to it. So it's the shortest distance, but as you can see, that's going to get all up into the exhaust. So we'll figure it out. Alright, so it's getting super crowded on this firewall here with my little, that's a Geo Metro master cylinder, so I got power brakes because I'm lazy. I don't like that manual mess. And then that's the clutch master cylinder. So the Fabbot comes with a speed bleeder kit, so I got this guy right here, and then I just took the rubber hose up to it and put it back in here, pumped it a bunch, got all the air out of the system, and now I've got a really good clutch pedal. So pretty excited about that. So I got to hook up my, I had to take my line lock from out of the way, so I got to get that hooked back up. You can see what I mean by out of room over here, but we'll get that put back in, and then I got my little clutch delay valve right here in case I need a driver mod. I'll be able to wire that solenoid in, so it'll be connected to when I'm in first gear, and it'll control how fast the clutch disengages in first gear. So I don't know if it's legal everywhere on the race and stuff, but I'm going to use it for testing tune and hopefully get it dialed in so I can launch consistent instead of, you know, if I have issues. So it's just there in case, which I'm in my mind I can drive, but you know, I did wreck the car last time I was driving it. So anyway, well, let me get back at it. Alright, so since I got the clutch, the next step is the drive shaft. So I took this to a little local place. So I had two drive shafts that would work for a Turbo 400. One of them, it spit out going down the road once, so I had a new one, and then so I took it and got it rebalanced and cut. I think I had to cut it down like 3-4 inches to get it to fit. So we're gonna get this slapped in the car, and then I got to do a few more things underneath it, and then we'll work on getting this thing off the jack stands, and we'll see if I can pull it forward and back it up in the driveway. So exciting times. So I was getting ahead of myself a little bit. I was just thinking about putting this drive shaft in, but I ain't got no gas pedal. Kind of hard to move your car around when you ain't got no gas pedal. So what I use a Fox body pedal, but I use this 1-inch spacer, but it's not going to fit now with my new trans tunnel. So I think I'm just gonna, I got some old chromoly tubing from this steering shaft, so I think what I'm gonna do is just cut some 1-inch sections of this and weld them to the back, so it'll give me the space that way, and that way I can just bolt it through the firewall. So let me get the gas pedal figured out, and then we'll put the drive shaft in. So I got my 3 spacers cut, and what I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna weld them to the back of each bolt hole, and then hopefully that'll work. So if not, we'll come up with something else. So we got our 3 little fingers welded on. So we're gonna let this cool, and then we'll get it stuck on the car, and then hopefully we'll put the drive shaft in, and then we'll drive it. Well, we won't drive it, but we'll back it up to the carport and pull it forward. drive shaft in. If you watched watched this far, got the drive shaft in, and you saw we got the car backed up and pulled forward. So pretty awesome. Still got a lot of work to do, but the end is near. So we're pretty excited. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment. And next big thing is exhaust. So let me know. I've got to go out the fender on the exhaust. Do you think it should go out the fender or out the hood right here? So let me know one way or another. And anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back at it soon.